So how did this band start? So like the origin story. Okay, so Artie and I, we're kind of friends from our wives, and we kind of met prior to the pandemic, and we were having play dates, and then
with their kids.
yeah.
Children,
Going to like
kids.
going to
The kids were having.
yeah. We ended up
Nothing creepy.
yeah. We're responsible parents.
Yeah, we started looking through each other's records.
We're swans, and you know who Neurosis is. You know who.
Yeah.
Man, what? You know. So anyway, if you have kids, finding your kids make a friend, and then having the parents have something in common with, you're like, wait, our kids are friends, and you like this band, and you know that. It's like, man,
because most of the time the other parents suck. You know,
they're nice. They're nice.
Like normal people.
They're nice.
It's like whatever.
Everyone's nice.
Everyone's nice.
Everyone's nice.
But they didn't know who Judas Priest is.
So that's pretty much it. So then we started talking about music and things like that, and then you know, my wife's pushing me to get out of the house more, so I'm not losing my mind, yelling at the kids and freaking out during the pandemic. And then Dallas is like, man, I wrote all these riffs during the pandemic, and he's got like 3,000 songs pre-written, and he's like, you want to sing on some of these? And I picked out a couple and wrote some lyrics down and did it in his basement. We didn't even know it was going to be a live band.
It was like a drum machine.
Yeah. We thought it was going to be like.
So
a
what was that? Cyborg Priest,
Cyborg Priest, and
Harvest, and Vaporized.
Yeah. And then we were like, this is pretty good. It came out good. And then Dallas brought Dan into the mix. Dan brought.
Well, here, back up. So after we made that drum machine demo,
Right.
I was like, man, this doesn't need to be on a computer.
Right.
And like, oh, getting a practice space, a PA, dealing with other bands, and I was like, wait, Dan has a PA, a practice space. He's from Chicago. He knows a bunch of people.
Yeah. So
I bet Dan could play this.
So his talent had
So I
nothing to
sent
do
him
with
the
that.
drum machine demos.
Who you know?
And I was like, hey man, you want
We've
to
been friends
jam?
for like 12 years, but you know.
Yeah, we lived
but he
across
has
the
a
street from
practice
each other.
space, so it's good.
Yeah. And I was like, Dan, he might be a... And then immediately like, yeah, I'm in. So we kind of hung out at the Moonlighter.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And then you were like, I know this drummer guy.
Well, Artie and
I had a PA.
Artie had to make sure I wasn't too crazy. He was like, oh, dude.
We already had a PA, a drummer, and a
man.
practice space, like immediately.
Well, I had been in a band with Sean that was like a black metal band, and that band had like I mean, I don't think it had even broke up. It just
stopped playing.
We obviously stopped during the pandemic, and then I was like, I think this dude would be really into this, so I sent it to Sean, and he's like, fuck yeah, dude, this is what I want to play. So then we jammed. That worked out.
You sent me the Harvest first, and I was like, all right.
Okay.
I don't know if it's cool.
Okay.
But then you sent me Cyborg Priest. More thrashy, but
More rockin'.
I'm in.
You were stoked to rock.
yeah.
So
Like
then
that
we
drummer.
started like, okay, we're gonna get a bass player, but then we're like, man, we don't want to. Let's get a punk bass player.
Yeah.
That was like, let's not get a metal guy.
Yeah.
That's got his, up to his chin playing
It's a
a
polite
seven
way of
string.
saying untalented.
Right.
So,
Well, no,
but
it's
he and
more
I,
vibe.
we had our old
More
band.
vibe.
Like, we shared a practice space, and we had tried to jam at one
Yeah.
point in time a couple years ago, and then it just didn't work out. And then they knew each other from another band. He's like, man, he can play bass, but he's a drummer. Man, he's a drummer. And so then he came over, and I was very
The baby.
disappointed in his performance. And I called
Yeah.
Dan. I'm like, dude,
The child.
I don't know. You need to call him. He needs practice.
I was the second choice for bass player in this band, and I failed my audition.
Right.
But somehow, Hearts of Gold allowed me in the band. And
Well,
here
you
I am
did the
2 years
homework.
later.
You did the homework, and it's like, all right, we're down. We're ready to go.
I've seen the
And
other
he's
band
a
you
cool-
played.
Oh, yeah, but he's a drummer. That's what I was interested in, like a bass player
The rhythmic.
that actually
Yeah.
played drums and like understood, like, he's not like a guitar player, like going to the drummer who play like this, because you're a drummer too, so you can kind of do the lingo, but you had to practice the bass, and you did. So there you go.
And you're not froggy on bass.
I'm
which is
definitely
an
not.
advantage
I'm like
in my
Dee Dee
opinion.
Ramone at
Yeah.
best. On
Yeah, that's what we wanted. So then one day, we started jamming the songs and learning stuff. And my daughter's, I was just sitting there listening to records, and she just come into my room in the toy store, and she goes, "Ready for death," and just like started to attack me. And I was like,
Basically,
"That's a
blew up
band
the
name.
sword,
is that a band name? As I'm getting attacked with a toy sword, I'm trying to look on Spotify and look on Bandcamp. There's a Ready for Death, and there wasn't.
Right.
And I'm like, hey guys, what do you guys think about the band Ready for Death? So our band was named by a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So
Inadvertently.
your wife and my daughter are basically, it's their fault.
It's their
It's
fault.
their fault that we're talking about this right
Blame
now.
them.
Yeah.
So sorry, everybody.
On their behalf.
Any other questions?
I feel like in 2024, is that what you? It's 2024.
Yeah.
I feel like we need. You don't really need to do that punishing Black Flag style touring all year round. You can, if you build for it, but you can also do like little 2-week jaunts, and the internet empowers you to reach people that you might not ordinarily reach. And you don't have to put yourself through that and sit on the side of the road waiting for fucking the tow truck.
Yeah.
And fucking, waking up in a fucking Motel 6 and all that shit. Like, you can skip all that shit, do little bursts, and accomplish what you need to accomplish, and still keep your sanity and your fucking health.
Maybe do 6 weeks out throughout the year.
Yeah.
And do a lot of like social media and content and don't get burnt out. Like pace
Yeah.
yourself.
We would brag
Like,
about
man,
touring for
the-
16 weeks. Whatever, and
Yeah,
it's like,
2 months tours
what
in
do you gotta show
Europe,
for it?
58
Unnecessary.
shows in 60 days. Stupid,
Nope.
stupid. Even if your band's popular,
Yeah.
if you're doing it in a band's not popular, it's even just way dumber.
Yeah,
Being
I
in a band is-
think a really important.
so if your band's not popular, don't do that.
Luca might be second
I'd say-
most road dog.
I was gonna say, I think a really important tour tip is don't be in a band with assholes. 'Cause,
Yeah, that's
like
the most
if you
important.
are like one day and you're like, what have I done?
Yeah.
Why
Like
did I
if you're in a
waste
band with
2
cool
years?
guys, it's like you're having a nice time, even if like the shows suck, even if like the audience sucks, even if the city sucks. You're with like good friends, you're having a good laugh.
100%.
Yeah.
We played a show with no people.
Just the
it was
other band.
weird. Like I've been
Bar,
playing
too.
in bands for fucking way too long. It's like, oh, I never played a show where there's like no.
Not one person
But I think
paid.
it was it was during that weird like air warning, and we were on tour, so we didn't know, and it was like in Philly, and I think that like weird thing, everybody just stayed inside. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like last summer,
That might
that pollution thing.
maybe that's
Dude,
We'll
dude,
blame-
like
we'll
there
take
wasn't
any
even
excuse.
a dude at the bar drinking. Like
Yeah,
it was
not our fault.
Ghost
Yeah.
town.
Nobody
Yeah.
knew who we were.
yeah.
But also it was like
Unlike now.
no one was there.
You can
Right.
blame the sky.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. We opened for Sunn at Thalia Hall, and I didn't know anything about Sunn. I'm the one guy in the band that's like, who are these guys? Why are we playing the show? on
Yeah,
Tuesday
Artie
night?
texted me. He's like, "There's gonna be no one there, right?" I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't think so, man."
We show up, you load in at this big room, and I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Why are we doing this? This is awful. And fucking go out, getting ready to play, and it's packed. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I was wrong. And I start getting a little like, shit, this is a sold out show. But
And then you climbed on the
Yeah.
fucking speakers and humped
Jumping
on
on there.
stuff.
which is super safe when you're vision impaired and you're wearing aviators. Yeah, so you never really know. You just gotta play it, and no matter what, you just play it 100% and pretend there's, you're playing there.
0 people there.
Yeah.
Always.
Even if there's 5 people there, there's 5 people that are there to see you. So you play to them. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Some of the most important shows I've seen in my life was when I was really young, and like even going to the fireside and seeing like a band playing 3 people and like giving it their all. And that like still to this day now inspires me. So I think it's important to kind of have that attitude. Like,
Yeah.
even though it's
Yeah.
and old now, like it's still,
Yeah, I had a lot of those too, where you like go in and there wasn't hardly anyone there, and the band like ripped.
Yep.
And it was like really important for my life. I saw Brainiac play in front of like 5 people when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and those dudes killed it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. And now they're a huge, like revered band. So,
Yeah.
but you never know. It's like, give it your all. You might inspire like someone. There might be one person there. So bands going around, oh man, there's nobody here. Like, they don't play music, man. Like, come on, get out of here. Next question. Y'all got enough?
Man. I saw Tesla back in the 1996 something to make.
You're here because of Tesla?
No! That's the first fucking concert. My
I'm not
parents took me
slagging
to.
you. I'm
I'm
just
like,
you're here, man.
it was cool.
If it was because of Tesla, I'm down.
I was a little fucking kid and we were on vacation. They swung by like this state fair and they're like, here's surprise, here's Tesla. Whoa, shit, okay.
Where was it?
Fuck, I want to do that.
Where was that?
The Springfield, Illinois State Fair.
Once I saw Weird Al at the Illinois Springfield.
It's not a bad place to see a show. It smells like a barn, shit, and rock and roll. It's cool. But that was my first big show. I was like this time.
A show that made me want to play? Man, I don't know. I just know it was my old man. Like him just playing guitars and playing Jimi Hendrix records when I was a kid kind of made me want to play. Like he wasn't even really, like he just kind of knew a couple chords, but and then he took me, my first show was, it was Robert Plant with Joan Jett opening at Nashville Municipal Auditorium, probably I think it was the Now and Zen tour for Robert Plant. But it wasn't that show. I already kind of was interested in music, but that was my first show, and I want to say that. I want to say Robert Plant with Joan Jett opening. Yeah.
I guess there's two shows. I saw Born Against play in New York at ABC No Rio, which is long gone, but I saw them just be really confrontational and antagonistic towards the audience, and just in their own zone, while the whole audience just kind of stood back and stared at them, and basically got yelled at and lectured the entire show and kind of made fun of, and I thought that's like that's my spot. I can do that. And then years later, I saw Nick Cave play on tour, and he just his whole like Preacher. This was like in the mid '90s, late '90s, and his whole like aspect of approaching the audience and like holding people's hands and singing to individual people and making people feel like they're part of the experience. And that like really resonated with me. It was one of the best live shows I've ever saw. I watched people bring flowers and throw flowers at him because they were just like enraptured by this one person performing all the songs. So probably those two.
So I don't know if it was like a show, because I'm trying to think of like seeing a show versus when I started really being excited about music, but I was like a skateboarder kid and my mom was worried. So she rented me a guitar and was like, why don't you just try this out? And I was like, okay. So I like fucking played this shitty Charvel. Or no, actually it was like a fucking Strat. And I got like a chord book, this is before the internet. And I literally just like sat in my room for like fucking hours trying to play like Mary as a Little Lamb on the fucking Strat. And I was like 11. And then
Now look at you.
And I was like just starting to get into like metal and like punk. And then there was a dude that I, of course, skated with who could ollie 5 skateboard decks, a bit older. And he came in and was like, oh, you have a guitar? And he started playing fucking Ozzy. And then I was like, oh, dude, what? I was like, I gotta do this. And I think like before I could really even play a scale, I learned how to do like pitch harmonics. I want to make that sound like a guitar. And then the last piece is my dad bought me some like pay-per-view as like a surprise. It was like an Ozzy No Rest for the Wicked era. I was like, yeah. I'm like, I'm into this shit. And that was it. Yeah, Crazy Babies. So dumb. Oh, so good. I love that record.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like my
Crazy
favorite.
Babies.
That was his comeback record after Rehab.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
dude,
we
it's
gotta
Zach
do like
Wild's
a-
first record.
We do like a 2-minute.
That's Zach
Crazy
Wild's
Babies.
first Miracle
Cool,
Man.
Ozzy.
Yeah.
Oh, or
I
Miracle
love
Man.
it. Yeah,
Miracle
dude, that's a
Man's
great
Cut
record.
it down to like a minute and a half then.
Let's do it.
Alright, that's it.
I guess for me, like the moment I realized I wanted to get into this was like one of my close friends when I was probably end of elementary school or early junior
Is
high.
it Dan?
No.
I've
known him.
I was already 20.
Sorry.
I was
Sorry.
my friend's older brother played in a band, and like they were probably 4 or 5 years older than us. So we'd go in the basement and watch them play, and like, you know, these are like 14-year-old boys playing like Green Day covers, but like in my memory it was like seeing the Who. It was like, this is what real music is, and like seeing that shit, I'm like, I want to do that. I want to play those drums. I want to be that loud and like that crazy, and like I'm sure if you were to see these kids play now, you'd be like, "Ooh, this is embarrassing." But like, it was like life changing for me. I'm like, I want to play weird, loud music with my friend.
Oh, yeah.
That was my. And there were three of us. We were three close friends, and we kind of idolized the older brothers, and we started our own little band, and then we kind of learned to play together. So that's how that started.
Next question. That's great.
The next record will be the next chapter, and that the groundwork was laid in the first record. So in terms of the post-apocalyptic kind of comic book-esque story that we're weaving together,
Will become reality by the time this record
yeah,
comes
we're
out.
probably a little bit behind actually.
So wait.
Well, it almost seems quaint.
The story of the lyrics, like the concepts.
Yeah,
The story that it tells.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should be on more drugs to probably tell the story better. But no, everything is set in a post-planetary war. You know, we talk about like world wars, but an entire planet engulfed in war, and then what comes out of that, and then AI powering religion to take over an entire sector of human culture and belief. And then on the other side of that, you have the Black Masker, which is kind of, is the Black Masker a person? Is it a group? Is it a myth? Is it, an imaginary concept? So all that stuff kind of was sort of fleshed out in a stream of consciousness way in the first record. And in the second record, it's going to have a lot more concrete, specific storytelling that gets into each of these elements and kind of extrapolates on what terrifying futures we can imagine and put it to music. But as I'm speaking,
It's kind of terrifying though.
The real
because
world
it's like
is-
an 80s B movie is becoming our reality.
yeah, we're almost behind the
So
curve.
yeah, so it's like basically the 80s are finally arrived. They're like 40 years late.
Right.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're right.
But it's kind of like we're like, oh, this is pretend, this is sci-fi.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wait, this is actually becoming like real.
Yeah, like all our quaint
This
little
isn't
cute
a-
songs about artificial intelligence
And horror and
man and technology merging.
yeah. It's like, wait.
well, I feel dumb because
Is
that's
this
happening.
becoming quaint? It's not
Or
even
it's
like
like
a
worse.
fantasy, sci-fi
It's worse.
fantasy anymore.
It's worse. Yeah,
Is that what you're trying to say?
kinda. Yeah. It's not really a fantasy anymore. So we're almost like we're beyond the predictive, and we're
It's
getting
like maybe
into
this isn't
the complete
funny
nightmare.
anymore, and we are ready for death, and the AI robots are going to just take us over anyway.
Yes. So lots to look
Sorry.
forward to.
Trying to help.
Future is bright.
Future's bright. Stay positive.
Put on your Oculus goggles and dive in.
Yeah. Ready Player One. It's all good.
Yeah, 100%.
Next question.
I don't even know if that answered the question.
I hope the edit of this.
Hopefully I didn't
Next-
interrupt it.
Next question.
Over and
And that's ready for
How
death.
much time we got?
I just got lost myself, so I was. Next question. Next question. Any other questions?